Welcome back to another episode of Careful Boys. Today we have one of our coolest actor friends with us. We got Lawrence Cow.
Wow. Lawrence.
Mr. Lawrence.
I am not that cool.
No, you're very cool. Where are you at in your acting journey right now, man?
Nowhere, man. I'm just chilling. So slow.
Are you on like one of those weird actor retreats?
Actor retreats?
Like where you refuse work and you just stay in a cabin?
I wish. That'd be fucking awesome.
But I thought that's what actors say when they don't got work, but they want to still seem cool. It's like, I'm just kind of like retreating and reinventing.
Really? Is that a thing?
Yeah, and then like, but it's really because they're not landing any auditions right now, and then they're just sucking.
Is the industry like kind of more dead right now?
I mean, that's what they say, but I try not to think about it like that. I mean, but it is pretty slow, but I wish it was like a little bit more...
Is there a reason why?
I feel like maybe because like the strike and the fires too, like sort of fucked everything up.
The strike?
Like the...
There's a writer's strike still?
The acting strike or
fuck.
the actor's strike.
Yeah, that postponed project's like 2 years.
Already, though.
Yeah,
It was all back to back.
Oh.
So like, and I feel like the fires really like fucked everything up too.
How did the fires fuck up the industry?
well, the Palisades isn't there anymore, and hella industry people live there.
Yeah.
Oh, like producers and...
Shitloads.
Froze a thing I was working on because a bunch of producers' houses were burned out.
Where did they move?
Where did they move?
To their second and third
I don't know
houses.
where all of them moved.
No, I mean, like, they're not dead. I'm just wondering why they stopped working.
Well, if a main producer loses their home, they probably have to switch priorities for a bit.
Yeah, I think everything just paused.
Joe's like, your house burned down. What the fuck's the big deal?
Can we get...
Come on, we need a...
Multiple homes.
Some of us trying to get paid.
It's like, but how does that
If they got
affect
multiple-
Sharknado 8?
But if they got multiple homes, they can just move into their other home and go to sleep there.
Their other home might be an investment property in Idaho.
But they still need to work. That's what I'm saying is like, you gotta work, right? Just because your home burned down doesn't mean you don't stop working.
Like pretty bad. Like no one wants to like shoot out
yeah,
here because
that's
it's like
right.
so expensive. To
Way
shoot
less
out
is
here.
being shot out
So
here.
yeah, so like most of the time, whenever I worked, it hasn't been in LA.
Really? So all of it is like elsewhere now?
Yeah.
Like Georgia?
Where else would it normally be for you? Like, in your experience, where have you gone to film something that was like supposed to look like it's in LA?
There's a lot of stuff like in Canada or
like Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver, Toronto, New Mexico, New York, New Orleans.
And everyone's taxes is better, huh?
What?
Everyone's taxes is better?
Did you ever Did you ever shoot in Atlanta?
Yeah, a lot back in the day.
The tax was like, is that like now not as hot of a spot for shooting as it used to be?
Yeah, I don't think so. I actually don't even know where like a lot of people shoot now these days. I feel like Vegas is coming up, right? Aren't they like?
They just shot it down. Because Sony is like...
For the second time, the bill didn't pass. Yeah.
Oh, what?
But they'll figure it out.
They had the votes, it just fell apart at the last minute.
Filibusters.
Nice.
Filibusters.
Just say big words.
Yeah.
I thought
We're
filibusters
new
when they talk so much to fucking kill the time.
Stall.
Supercalifragilistic.
Well, they do. They put in like changes to a bill like right before a deadline, and then it's like if nobody has time to even fucking read it or research to figure out how to counter it, and the deadlines are hard deadlines. So the second it gets to midnight, that's it.
Yeah.
Filibuster.
Yeah, the filibuster. Yeah.
But that's not a filibuster.
Filibuster's like verbally done.
But that's not a
Yeah.
filibuster.
Blockbuster.
I'll fill you, busted.
Hollywood Video.
Filibuster.
Is there anything that you want to do
Blockbuster.
purely for yourself, where you're not like working on someone else's set? Because I know you used to like, at least when you were like making so many skits, like you had tons of ideas.
I wish I still had that. I feel like like that drive has dissipated over the years, and I don't know why. I just like don't feel like making shit, but I do like. I just like supporting other people's stories. You know, just to be like an instrument for someone's like storytelling and stuff. So.
Would you ever want to sell those ideas that you have left over? Like, what if some guy came up to you and was like, "Hey, I want to buy the fucking Bring Your Own Balloon Party. I want to buy."
Oh,
that
yeah,
script.
sure, that'd
I
be
wanna buy
fucking
that whole
awesome.
thing,
Cool,
make it a
yeah.
feature.
Yeah, I get. It's like I don't have like I just don't have the drive to sit down and write stuff. Whereas before, like I was just be like, yeah, I want to write something.
I know a lot of people from our generation that's like that right now.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering why.
Do you think? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe comfortability. Maybe.
His face.
What? Filibuster.
I'll feel your buster.
No, but I mean like across industries.
Like just What do you mean?
And I don't know if they're.
Yeah, I don't want to make steel anymore.
I think you're talking about age, Joe. It's just
Yeah, I
age.
think it's.
But I don't think it's a comfortable thing.
What do you mean? Are you blanket diagnosing the entire?
Maybe when people get older, you just lose drive.
You lose job for the thing that you've been doing for the last 20 years because you've had to do it for work. So your passion and your natural tap of creativity is a little bit more like deaded.
You're bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is there other things that you feel excited to create?
So far, this is a really inspiring video.
Yeah, it's like, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I'm in the same boat right now, right? Like, if I get a dance gig or a job, I'm like, yes, work. But like, to chase it, the same drive I had to be like, yo, if I like put in this work, if I do this thing, if I put out this content, like I'm gonna get work. That's duh. It's like basic math, and I'm still like,
Yeah.
I hope work just comes right now, because like really, I want some of my hustle time back. I feel like you dedicated everything, and then next thing you know, you're just like If I was my younger version who had the dreams of like what I would do, and I looked at myself now, I'd be so proud. And yet at the same time, like honestly, I want to play golf, I want to play games, I want to hang out with my friends, I want to chill out.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't mean as much to us anymore as it did when we were younger.
So that drive was a lot because of meaning. Like you want to make a video about balloons.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, this is gonna be fucking hilarious, you know, or like this, like just the drive to like I don't know, make shit. But I feel like maybe just feeling burnt out, maybe.
I remember being on vacations with Nikki early on and being miserable the whole vacation because I felt like I hadn't earned it because I hadn't sold a movie yet. Like shit like that doesn't happen to my brain now. Like because back then I was just so fucking hungry for that first win.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's like a gear switching thing for me because like this job I'm on right now. Like I recently uploaded another assignment that I completed, and I looked at the folder. And so far, there's like 75 individual like completed things in that folder, and I looked at it and I'm like, God damn! That's why I don't feel like doing that after I'm done.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I want to do something different. I'm like, okay, I've been sitting here doing music for like a fucking factory. I want to play video games or do something physical.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe we just want to enjoy our lives more as you get older. You know, you just want to do other shit.
Yeah,
that's
Absolutely.
I mean, guys working with wood in his garage and shit like that. I think that's cool as hell.
That gives me so much pleasure. But then if someone was like, hey, can you make me a bed frame? Then I would, after doing that, I'd probably go do music.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this wood.
Yeah.
I think it also comes down to with the age thing. It's like when we were in our 20s and people didn't have children, and people like were able to like 4 people would live in a house, you know, and you would have this same drive and passion and dream or whatever you're working on. Everybody's momentum keeps you inspired. You see somebody doing something cool in your same industry and you're like, I want to work on something too. But now it's like when you don't live in the same space with people, like it's all just like your own self-motivation. And it's like a completely different like experience.
Dude, I remember even just friends of mine booking something and being like, oh fuck, now I gotta get something. Like, are you kidding me? That guy got something?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I feel like at least our sub circle of friends in like around Irvine was sort of like that. Because that house that I lived in Costa Mesa, there's so many people passing through that were having good news about something they were on or doing. You know what I mean? Like you had Mike's on traveling the world, and like Anthony selling shit door to door.
Yeah, I was like, I want to be a salesman.
Yeah, we all wanted to be salesmen.
I was fucking selling everything.
Yeah.
And the problem was I had so much like ego in it because like that was the whole point of sales. You had to be like the top sales guy in your office. So your ego would be like, all right, give me the most difficult thing to sell. And you would talk a big game and you would hate what you're doing for it. So you're like, because like at first like everything was about selling Dodgers tickets. So we'd sell Dodgers tickets, then we moved on to Clippers tickets and stuff because the whole concept was to fill in like the seats. And then after I became like top sales guy, I had to keep that like image, but while doing like the shit that other people would complain about. I was like, fine, I'll sell makeup. I can sell makeup. And I'll go out there and I'll like sell it just to talk shit at the end of the day.
Wow.
Even though I hate it.
Did you do that again?
Only like a year and a half.
I feel like selling Dodgers tickets is kind of tight because they kind of sell themselves.
That's how I got my dog. I literally traded Dodger tickets for my
Like,
dog.
just give it to me.
Imagine now how much they sell themselves.
Coming out for the World Series last year? Are you kidding?
They'll beg you for it.
Well, now those programs wouldn't exist.
Right, exactly.
They only worked because the stadiums were too. Yeah.
They needed to, yeah.
And the tickets were always on like the far end, but like if you could go to the game for free, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know?
Why pay for it?
Yeah, that was a very different, like, I feel like because everyone was on the cusp of, like, shaping who they were. It was exciting to like see everybody's progress. But then like now that you're in a place where people kind of generally have an identity, and it's some of them are just really trying to sustain it. It's like a
You think
different
drive
vibe.
is tied to identity?
I don't know. I think drive is definitely like a contagious thing. And I think when you're in a place where like everyone you know is driven over something
Yeah.
different, it's motivating because it's a realistic thought of like, oh, like it works. Like if you just like keep on it, like it works. It worked for him, worked for him. All
You see
everyone
the
your friends.
system that people use to get successful. Like you see the different systems and how people attack it different ways.
Yeah, that's
If
a
you
funny
mimic it.
thing. Is like I can't pinpoint the transition of when I went from like being like everything's possible, I just got to do it, to I'm just grateful I have this. You know what I mean? Like that's a very different mentality.
Right.
But it's like before you know it, you're that guy that's like, hey, I'm just happy to be working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that ain't how you started. You didn't start with that. You were like, I'm not happy with what I have. I want the next thing. I want the next thing. I want the next thing. And then you're just like, I'm just glad I'm not homeless.
And then you look at like then you look at the older, wiser guys who are like telling you, it's like, hey man, appreciate the journey. And you're like, shut up.
Easy for you to say you made it.
Yeah, let me get to the next level.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a funny thing, man.
But also like you end up, I think we still subconsciously like choose who we surround ourselves with, because at the same time, like if you're hanging out with certain homies that like maybe are inconsistent or don't have a similar drive, it's not to say that they're not a cool homie. It's to say that like on my regular, if I can at least surround myself with people who are still not necessarily attacking the paint with their craft, but like still consistent, like really like
Oh, I throw them away.
yeah, we see that.
Hell yeah.
Bad influence, huh? Get them out of here.
And that's not to say that it's like ineffective to have that stance of like I'm just happy to eat, but it's a very different thing when you run into the you from like way back in the day and you see it in someone else, and it's slightly annoying.
Yes, it is. It is.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
That's age.
Because you know what I miss
like I'm
though
doing too much
is
now.
like there's a difference between that insecurity drive and someone that's actually passionate with the mission. I actually miss that. So like the other day I was thinking about our buddy what's his name? Brain fart. The Korean dude that's like got a podcast now. He just super political.
Matt Kim.
Yeah, Matt. I was looking at he has a mission to change the world, right?
Yeah.
And it's earnest. It's like it's not for fame, it's not or whatever it is, but he has a message. And I think like the older I became, the more jaded I am about how people might change and how the world might change and things like that.
Yeah.
I actually miss that innocent drive that I had where I can change the world. Because it comes from a place of naivety. It comes from a place of like,
that's true,
I'm
yeah.
gonna fucking revolutionize this shit and change the way people see X or whatever, right? And when you're in your 20s, you take bigger risks because you think you're capable of actually changing the world. And then you get older and you're like, people are gonna stay the way that they are. And you can try your best to give these messages out and create art with like that meaning or whatever. It's not gonna do shit because they're still gonna be dumb.
Yeah. You want to change the world, and then you realize you just want to change your house.
Basically, yeah.
And also now you got a house to lose.
That, yeah.
Now that risk is different because you've
Right.
like earned enough stuff where you like leveled up in life, and now you're like, man, I don't want to risk this. Like,
100%.
I
Yeah.
just want to get work.
I mean, it does feel much better to change your house, right? Because if you're changing your fitness, that's what really affects
The best.
your. But also, I think having something larger than you, that is like kind of like your life's work, is something that I really miss having. But I don't know if it's like when you're a child, you have those toys that you play with, and then the magic is there, and then boom, it goes away, and you see your toys, and it's not there anymore. Like that magic of making that thing alive. And I'm like, some people can keep it going, like till they die.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You know? So I'm just like, fuck. I don't know if that veil has been lifted.
Bro, Clint Eastwood is still directing movies. He's 95.
That's what I'm saying.
Going in production, I think, like in like a month or something.
He's gonna direct another threesome scene for himself.
Or like make out with like little small girls.
Yeah. That's his move.
Old enough for just kisses.
You know what's a funny difference though, like because we meet a lot of people that will say like I want to change the world, but like to me, I don't think you can do anything unless you your own community supporting you.
Yeah.
Like a big difference is that like with Kaba Modern, when Kaba Modern like blew up onto like mainstream scene, the entire community was depending on them to like, we were all like, dude, that represents this whole fucking world that we came from, and they already won over their whole perimeter before they reached the world. So like if you don't have that, and you're just thinking too big and you can't even affect people in your room, you need to start here. Like
That's a big one, right?
yeah, because it's like if no one listens to you,
You're just
where
a
you are
crazy
now. Yeah.
conspiracy theorist or whatever it is.
Exactly. Then you're just having like, it really is like a grandeur delusion because you just want that like king's throne. But
Yeah, what makes Matt not crazy is he actually has viewers that care. And they're like, you're representing our voice.
yeah.
And then that's kind of like, and to me, it's not really about the message. It's just having that passion and then like communicating something in a way where people are like, that's what I wanted to say, but you said it better. Through art or through through spoken word or whatever it is. And I'm like, that's fucking cool to have that, because that's actually community building. Like that's like you're representing kind of like a perspective that a lot of people have, but they can't yet get it out.
It also helps that he was so financially successful before he started becoming a person.
I think that's a big one too.
Yeah, so you could afford to like do
Because then you can bomb throw and not really worry as much.
Because that's fuck you money, but at the same time,
And he doesn't have a boss that's
Yes,
gonna be
yeah.
like, don't go out there saying that stuff. He's his own boss.
that's what we need to do is maybe sell LED lights and shit, and then
That's smart. That's
I just like I like to think of
be the sign guy.
Joe's toy analogy right now in real life, and I'm like, dude, JK News is Joe's like Woody, and just Jude B is Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, so you still have toys to play with?
oh yeah,
Play with
So
your toys.
Joe's Andy.
Joe's Andy, but Jude B's Buzz Lightyear is funny to me.
But he still likes playing with Woody.
Yeah, I mean,
He loves Woody.
We gotta
Yeah,
remind
you gotta
him
remind-
you're his favorite toy.
Yeah.
you have to remind him.
Meanwhile, David So's Sid next door.
he's a tomato farmer now. That's his main thing.
Dude, David as Sid is fucking hilarious.
What do you mean he's a tomato farmer?
He's very passionate about tomatoes. Yeah.
He'll
free
grow
time.
like
knows-
20 different variety of tomatoes, and he'll know why they're all different.
He knows everything about tomatoes.
So then you call him the F word, and then you get on with your day.
I would.
Yep.
Farmer.
Yep.
I feel like
Such a freaking
motivation wise, didn't David say the same thing about his own podcast? Like he doesn't even want to do it anymore? Like his
I don't know, man. I just think like every one of my peers, at least, what we started off doing, like YouTube and all these things, like that drive for like creating a movie or whatever, like it's all gone. So like it's completely disappeared.
It's very honest.
Yeah.
But like, there's just a practicality to your like current day responsibilities. If somebody were to like be like, hey, Aunt, here's $1 million. Don't do any other work and like do just like that Kinj's theater show you always want to do. I'll drop everything because I'm not risking anything anymore because the money's there. I'm not putting up my own risk. And I could dive right back into that childlike passion. And I feel very good. We were talking about this yesterday in the car ride, just like building a different vertical just because the thing that you built your own legacy and your IP, you want to try new things with it and expand in a different way versus doing the same shit again for the next 10 years. It's not saying you don't like what you do. It's just you've done that the last 10 years. I'm down to try new shit.
Yeah. YouTube. This is my 18th year on YouTube.
That's crazy.
And like, yeah, I mean, this is why I keep it though, because I love doing this, but it's so different from like the novelty of being infatuated over something new.
Yeah, totally.
Right. But I do think everything will get tired and old. Like no matter how fun it is.
Back to the inspiring video.
Right?
If some like movie studio came up to you and was like, we're gonna give you a $20 million budget to make any movie you want, but it has to star Anthony Lee, what would you write?
Let's fucking do it. Fuck.
What would you write for him? And he has to be like the main character.
It'd probably be like a.
Brokeback Mountain, but they're like in ancient China.
It would be for me. I would write it about a guy who can't suck his own dick, but he has to work out and train.
Rocky montage.
Yeah, but yeah. And then he goes to the sucking your own dick tournament at the end, and he sucks his own dick. Yeah, and he wins a fucking trophy, and he's holding it up.
Yeah.
I would just definitely.
He has to
With
save
the
the rec
handle in the
center.
front.
Damn, defying the laws of
He has
physics.
he has to save the Kinja studio.
Everybody's like, no way, he's doing it.
And he's like, I can't win the national dick sucking championship
Because he hurt his
I'm
ribs.
not good enough.
He hurt his ribs. And,
I'm too tall.
And then he's like,
My back is hurt.
And then the mom's like, you know your dad died doing that.
Kelly Hugh, the mom.
I won't. She's like, I forbid it. I forbid you doing
From
it.
X-Men.
He's like, I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. You'll see.
Yeah, his dad's paralyzed because he tried and he failed, but he never told him that he was actually like the best.
Robin Shue.
He was trying to. He was at the tournament and he tried to suck his own dick and he ruptured his spinal column.
Yeah. And then he thought that his dad was a war vet, but he's actually not. He stolen valor, but he tried to suck his own dick and failed. And then so the family just lies and says that. And then he finally says, "No, you're not gonna follow in my footsteps." And he tells him the truth. And he goes, "Your dad was actually the champion."
What a
He was
hero.
the best I ever saw. He was the best I ever trained.
Yeah.
If only his spinal column hadn't collapsed when he was sucking his own.
Yeah, when they find the.
There we go. This is the movie. I'd have.
Talk about Hunter like that.
Anthony.
Anthony.